Meaning of True Love, Part 4. First Steps of Us.
A few weeks later, on a crisp autumn afternoon, they decided to meet at Emma's apartment for dinner. The city was quiet as evening descended, the leaves crunching underfoot as Jack made his way up the stairs to Emma's door, carrying a bottle of wine. There was a sense of anticipation in the air, both of them wondering what it meant to navigate this new territory of theirs.
Right on time. You know, I'm still not used to seeing you at my door like this. It's different.
Different good, I hope. Hands her the bottle of wine. I brought this. I figured it'd go well with whatever you're cooking.
Perfect choice. Dinner's almost ready. Come on in. And yes, it's a good different. But it still feels a little strange, doesn't it? This thing between us. We've spent so long as friends, and now everything feels new, even though it's familiar.
I get it. It's like we're trying to figure out how to take something that was already great and make it more. It's not always easy, but I think that's part of the journey, right?
Exactly. There's a lot to figure out, but I think we're doing okay. At least we're talking about it. I've seen so many relationships fall apart because people don't communicate. Jack, I've been thinking, you know how we've talked about trust and vulnerability. I feel like we're at this point where we need to address something. Where do we see this going? I don't want to put pressure on us, but I also don't want to pretend we're still just friends.
Yeah, I've been thinking about that too. I don't want to rush anything, but I also don't want to avoid the conversation. I guess what I'm trying to say is, I'm serious about us, but I don't know what the future holds. I just know I want to figure it out with you.
Question. Jack, what do you think is the most important thing to establish in a new relationship? A. Defining clear expectations. B. Giving each other space to grow. C. Making sure the foundation of friendship is still there.
Answer. B. Giving each other space to grow. I think the most important thing is giving each other space to grow. Option B. Relationships can feel overwhelming if we rush into them. I want us to keep growing as individuals, while figuring out how we can grow together.
I'm so glad you said that. I feel the same way. I don't want to lose ourselves just because we're exploring this new side of our relationship. It's important that we stay true to who we are while we're figuring out how to be together.
They sat in silence for a moment, both reflecting on how easy it was to talk about these things. That's what made their connection special. It was built on honesty and openness, something neither of them had experienced before.
I think we're going to be okay, Emma. As long as we keep talking like this, we'll figure out the rest as we go.
I think so too. But I do wonder, what do you think will be our biggest challenge moving forward?
Question, Emma. What do you think will be the hardest part about transitioning from friends to something more? A. Balancing friendship and romance. B. Managing expectations. C. Facing potential conflicts and disagreements.
Answer A. Balancing friendship and romance. I think the hardest part will be balancing friendship and romance. Option A. We've been friends for so long, and now we're trying to figure out how to add romance into the mix without losing that friendship. It's tricky, but I think we can do it.
Yeah, it is tricky. But I'm glad we're taking it one step at a time. We've always been good at finding balance, and I don't think that'll change.
True. It's one of the things I've always appreciated about you. We've always been able to talk about the hard stuff without making it awkward. I hope we never lose that.
The night grew later, but neither of them felt in any hurry to end their time together. They moved back to the couch after cleaning up, sitting closer now, their hands occasionally brushing against each other, as if testing the waters of this new closeness. The conversation became lighter as they shifted back into more familiar territory, talking about work, family, and their favorite books. But as the evening drew to a close, Emma found herself thinking about the future again. She didn't want to rush things, but she also knew they couldn't avoid talking about where they were headed forever.
Do you ever wonder what our relationship will look like a year from now? Will we still be figuring it out, or do you think we'll have settled into something more defined?
I hope we'll have found our rhythm. I think there's always going to be some uncertainty, but that's part of the adventure, right? The important thing is that we're in this together, whatever it looks like.
Question: Jack, in your opinion, what's the most important thing to keep a relationship healthy as it grows? A. Constant communication. B. Flexibility and patience. C. Shared goals and vision.
Answer: B. Flexibility and patience. I think the most important thing is flexibility and patience. Option B. No relationship is perfect, and we're going to have to adjust to each other as we grow. Being patient with each other's differences and willing to adapt is what keeps things strong.
I think that's a great answer. We've both been through enough to know that relationships aren't easy, but if we can be patient with each other and stay flexible, we can handle whatever comes our way.
The conversation slowly wound down as the night grew quieter. Emma and Jack sat in a comfortable silence, feeling a sense of peace settle between them. They both knew there were challenges ahead, but they also knew they had something worth holding on to.
I should probably get going, but I'm really glad we had this talk. It feels good to know we're on the same page.
Me too. I feel like we're figuring this out step by step. It's scary, but it's also exciting.
Good night, Emma. I'll see you soon.
Good night, Jack.
As the door closed, Emma stood there for a moment, feeling the warmth of the evening settle over her. She knew that the path ahead wouldn't be easy, but for the first time in a long while, she felt hopeful. This new chapter in her life, in their relationship, was just beginning. As Emma turned off the lights and headed to bed, she knew that whatever challenges lay ahead, she and Jack were ready to face them together, with honesty, patience, and the bond of friendship that had always been their foundation. 5 words and phrases related to the theme of Meaning of True Love, Part 4. First steps of us.
Communication. the key to resolving conflicts and understanding each other's needs in a relationship. Patience, the ability to give the relationship time to grow and adjust to new dynamics.
Friendship, the foundation that supports the transition from friends to partners in love. Flexibility, the willingness to adapt and evolve as individuals and as a couple.
Expectations, understanding and managing what each person wants from the relationship to avoid misunderstandings.